I'm Matt.
I'm Carissa.
We're the Koch-Garpstas Realty Group, and today we're here to talk about our story, how this all became about. We get asked the question all the time: what started the Koch-Garpstas Realty Group? How did we meet each other? And kind of our story. We have a very unique story, and we thought it'd be really cool to share it with you guys.
Yeah. So a few years ago, we were both newer in real estate, working at the same brokerage, and that's really where we first met.
Yeah. In 2017, I think.
17?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't know you before.
Yeah. Nope.
And that's so my husband is also an agent, and we were all working at the same firm, same brokerage.
Yep.
And yeah, that's where we first got introduced, I guess.
Yeah. So I just got into real estate. You guys have been in real estate for maybe a year
year.
or two, something like that. And then we went our separate ways. I left that brokerage where we met, and for the next 3 years, I was at a different brokerage. And we crossed paths just being in the business together, on listings and buyers and stuff like that. But yeah, didn't really hang out outside of work.
But while we were at the same brokerage, I do remember, you kind of sharing your story a little bit about what you were going through at the moment.
Yeah.
And that you had been diagnosed with kidney disease.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
There were a couple times I remember, like, you weren't in the office for a few days, and you were off getting treatment or getting, just testing done.
Yeah, I remember. It's crazy to think back, how long? That's 5 years ago, something like that. It's crazy to think back. I remember, I started there, was in the office a lot, and then I was out because of the kidney stuff. I was in a lot of pain and going through a lot during that time. So yeah, I do. I remember thinking back, and yeah, so I started sharing with some people my journey with my kidney disease. So I was diagnosed with kidney disease. I don't even know. It had been like 10 years ago at this point. I have an autoimmune disease that caused my kidney disease. So I have an overactive immune system that attacks my kidney. And that's a very brief synopsis of what my disease is. So yeah, fast forward then a couple years, 2019, my kidney started to fail. So I started going into kidney failure.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would cry.
Oh.
I get very emotional telling my story. Thinking back, what is it? We're already in August. So next month is my 2-year kidney transplant anniversary. So, sometimes thinking back on 2019, my kidneys were going into kidney failure, not knowing what my life was going to be. Very difficult time. So yeah, we fast forward.
Well, so I knew that you were going through kidney failure, and I think you had made a post that said you were going to need donation.
Yeah.
And I think my mom saw that on Facebook and, just told Dave and I, hey, did you guys see, Matt's post? And we both hadn't. And I'll never forget, I was driving and Dave, my husband, called me and he said, so I know this sounds crazy, but how Matt's going through everything right now. And I said, yeah. He goes, well, I feel like he's like, I can't even describe it to you. Like, I felt like this cool sensation, like the Holy Spirit has come through my body and I have to get tested. Like, I know that I'm a match.
Yeah, which is crazy. I remember, so we had a benefit. Our friends, we were getting ready to have our second child, not knowing if I was going to be able to do real estate or not. Our friends threw a benefit together for us, and I remember, I think that's when Dave came up to me and told me, like, "Hey, I'm your match. I'm being called. I'm being told that I'm your kidney donor." And I remember him saying, like, I don't even know what my blood type is. I haven't been to the doctors in forever. So
yeah.
So and that's where we're leading into. Dave was my kidney donor. So from going from that moment when he told me this story to finding out that he truly was the match, I mean, it's just kind of mind blowing.
And not just like, yeah, it would pass margins. It was like 100% on every single thing.
Yeah.
Blood type, antibodies, like
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
was 100%, which was just like mind boggling.
It was very mind boggling. And they only test a handful of people, like 1 or 2 people at a time. So even the fact that I was in a totally different career, figured out I had kidney disease, always wanted to get into real estate, never did, took a leap of faith, like I can't do this line of work anymore because of my disease. I'm going to get into real estate. I met Dave and Carissa for a short amount of time. We talked because Dave, unfortunately, is a Lions fan. I'm a Packer fan. So there's always that banter. To fast forward, like all of these things were happening for a reason. And for him to be one of the first people to apply and getting that phone call, like, I'm your match. I mean, crazy. Which is why I get super emotional talking about this story, just everything that I've been through in my life, especially with the kidney stuff. You know, it was very, very hard time in my life. Then all the good stuff started happening. It's just like, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The whole story is just amazing, which then led to us forming a team.
Yeah.
And how did that come about? We talked about it, our 1 year anniversary.
Our 1 year, our 1 year anniversary, almost a year ago. We had just
2 years ago.
Oh, geez, 2 years ago. Sorry. Yeah, we both were just like, hey, how's real estate?
Yeah.
How's life?
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, just the conversations just kept coming in and rolling. And it took almost a year, I guess, for us to kind of like really decide to solidify and do this. And I mean, we're practically connected.
Yeah, I mean, we are, yes. We're inseparable at this point. I mean, it just made sense. You know, in the very beginning, we talked about it, and we went our separate ways, did our thing, and over the course of the next year or so, we would meet and talk about what it would look like to have a team together. May of this year, 2022, we created the Koch-Garpstas Realty Group, and it's been a great experience thus far.
Yeah. So we're just looking forward to bring awareness. And it's funny, it's like, you know, when you want a new car and you always see that car then on the road.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, we now see, like, need a kidney donor. And, you know, unfortunately, he can't give anymore.
But I mean, talking about kidney donation in general, you know, you can live with just one kidney. There's more people on dialysis and in kidney failure than there are available kidneys. It's a big process to even get a kidney. Dave, fortunately, was a match, so he was a living donor for me. A lot of people are on dialysis for way longer than I was. I was on dialysis for 9 months. I personally know people that were on for several years before they even got a kidney. And a lot of those people, it was a deceased donor. There's a kidney pairing program. So even if Dave wasn't a match for me, we could have got put into a system where he could have been a match for somebody else and their donor could have been a match for me, and we could all exchange kidneys. So there's so many opportunities to become a kidney donor. If you're healthy, I highly 100% suggest it. This is where I get emotional again, because it was life-changing for me. I got my life back, which is...
And that was eye-opening for us too, because we didn't realize that, like, okay, even if he wasn't a match for you, that he could still donate to someone, which was kind of cool. Like, we didn't understand that process, and you're kind of naive to it until you're in it.
Until you experience it.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Well, we didn't know you couldn't get on the list until like he.
Yeah, like I couldn't actually, like, there's a threshold for kidney disease. Like, you know, I was at a point where I was at 50% kidney function, and I was like going downhill quickly, and I still couldn't get put on the list.
Right.
So
because you hadn't almost donated a donor.
Yeah, exactly. So once you're in kidney failure, like, you get put on the list. When you get put on the list, at that point, somebody can apply to give you a kidney. You can't do it before that.
Yes.
Which I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, okay, we're getting there.
System.
Who can give me a kidney? Well, it doesn't really work that way. But
yeah.
Once I was in the kidney failure and on dialysis, I got put on the national donor list, and that's when people can start applying.
Yeah.
So crazy.
The process was crazy, but here we are.
COVID played a role into that too.
That's
so
true.
That didn't help.
I slowed up the process.
Slowed the process up a little bit, but here we are.
Almost 2 years later.
Yeah, September 17th, which is less than a month away at this point. 2 years
Yeah.
since the transplant.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
So that's our story.
Yeah, that's our
So,
story.
If you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. We're both kind of open books about
Yeah.
the whole process. And, I'm happy to share my side of the story as just being a supportive spouse through it all.
Yeah.
And
Because
it's been amazing.
That's a whole nother situation.
Yeah, it's scary.
For you, for my wife.
Yeah.
We all have kids. We all have families.
Yeah.
But just trusting that this was the right thing, and it's leading to better things. Creating the team, sharing our story, helping families, helping our community. That's what we're all about. And just the whole kidney donation kind of started that process.
Yep, it did.
So yeah, we're just here to help people, and that's obviously Dave helped me tremendously. And now we're just kind of carrying that on by helping our community.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's it, guys.
Reach out to us. We're super open. We're open book. If you want to know more about kidney donation, kidney failure, whatever, kidney anything, reach out to us. We're more than happy to share our story even further. More one-on-one conversations. So reach out.
Thanks, guys.